Hey everybody, this is Angry Otter, coming to you from inside the office again. So this week we're going to do a bit of an update, right? We're not going to do a whole lot of news, I guess. There were some updates, some little things we did. The good news is that the wife and I got the chance to play a game this weekend. So I think it was actually Friday night. We played a game of Hero Realms, and she beat me pretty soundly, actually. I think she ended up having somewhere in the range of 40 or maybe low 30s in health, and she wiped me. She just cleaned me up, which was great. She really enjoys the game. I enjoyed the game. It was still fun. I think actually I'll be doing a little bit of a voiceover work. It actually does a little explanation here where she actually goes through and she ended up doing 14 points of damage to me in that turn. And so it was actually pretty cool just to see her kind of piece these things together and like realize, oh, this is how the powers unlock and how they kind of work together. It was pretty neat to see kind of the gears turn on that one and to see her really engage well. Otherwise, we haven't really had the chance to do much else in the realm of gaming. I'm still kind of working on how to better introduce some things like Tabletop skirmish to her and to myself, obviously. So what I've been working on, and I think I had mentioned this before, for the Age of Fantasy game, I'm looking at trying to make it a little bit on the easier side for us to be able to create the characters, as far as like how to play with them and all that, between the miniatures and all that. So I'm kind of creating character cards for each one of the armies, although I'm starting with the elves and the dwarves because that's what we're most likely to play. I may end up doing death myself. I might even just rewrite some of the rules of what can be used in those armies, but we're going to get to that eventually. But the point is that I've been working really hard on these things, and so I finally got the chance to print the very first one. I'm just going to show it to you here real quick. It's very literally just all the basic detail that you could possibly need for the actual character. So, clear. Because the rule calls that you can only have one hero on the board at a time, I decided to mark it with a hero at the distinction on the top. And then you got things like, as I was talking about before, you know, like wounds, the attack, the defense right there. You've got just right here for the actual attack of what they can use for claws. There's a lot of alignment issues with it right now, just simply because I did it all with 8.5 by 11, and I was using higher level of font, and I had some graphics in there where it was like a heart and then like a little target and like a shield to kind of make it more of a representation of to make it a little bit easier to kind of visualize what was going on. But unfortunately, when I went to shrink it down to just a simple 3x5, everything got really messed up. I had to redo it, and this is literally the very first time that I actually took a crack at it. I only have one of them redone now, and I have to go through and do the other 18? There's 18 more that I have to do. I left the beasts, like what you can mount things on, out for now. But I kind of decided that in order to approach this easier for her and I, we're going to start with one character each, and a lot of that's going to be based off of just getting used to the movements and how that works. And I know that every character moves up to, it says 12 inches. I may back it down to 6 just because we have a coffee table that's not very big. I haven't done the measurements on it yet, but it's not very large. I have very few rulers in the house. Honestly, I actually have a free Frostgrave one I got during Origins one year. But we have like little metal notebook type of 6-inch metal rulers that we could probably use. So I've got a couple of like just Lego characters that came for like the little minifigures that have little base underneath them, and I've got a pirate and a witch, and likely that's what I'm going to be using to kind of teach her the basic mechanics of things like this. I'm going to say, hey, this card represents that one character, and this is what that person's able to do. We're just going to keep it simple with, okay, it has claws, attack 3. Here's how you do attack 3. Here's how you move. Here's what melee means. Here's what range could mean, like up to 30 inches. I mean, whatever the case may be for like a longbow in the game or whatever. And we're going to try that. So maybe she finishes up her term this week. I don't think we have a lot planned for the weekend. I take that back. We do. Crap. this weekend I'm going to a board game cafe that's in the local area, and the really nice thing that this place does is they actually have like a developers meetup. And so for the last couple of months she has been telling me I need to go, I should go and try it out and take the game and see what people think of it and get some feedback. And this could be a whole different topic all by itself, and it's going to be on one of my talking points. I've been too afraid to do it, and so this weekend I believe we're actually going to go and do it. I have, since I released the beta for the RPG, I'm going to take one or two, maybe a couple more copies, along with some pre-made characters, and I'm probably going to do nothing more than just pit them in like a PvP type of a battle, where they're considered to be like gladiators in an arena. Here's what you're doing, here's how you fight, here's the basic gist of the rules, you know, try out different classes if they want to. But it's a bunch of different developers that show up. You have coffee together, you discuss different elements, you try out board games if they're trying to do prototyping or try to get feedback on certain pieces and characteristics. I kind of am curious just to see what people's thought is of just very literally the combat mechanic. I'm kind of curious about it. So I think we're going to try it out. She's going with me. She's going to soldier through it, even though she said that she won't be much help, but I think she doesn't realize just how helpful she'll be just by even literally being there and showing support for it, because it's tough. It's really hard to hear anything potentially, even if it's constructive criticism. It's really hard to hear it because you've kind of poured all your thoughts. I mulled over this thing for the better part of 9 months between the alpha and well, actually longer than that, over a year between the alpha and the beta. And my presence online for that is just terrible, but so we're gonna give it a go, and hopefully some of the feedback's good. Hopefully I can use it maybe in the future. I don't, aside from editing and maybe adding some artwork, which is questionable as to when that's gonna ever happen, I don't know if there's gonna be much between the beta and the final product. Obviously I don't really plan on charging anything. It might be a pay what you want, and genuinely if nobody wants to pay anything, that's perfectly fine, but I'm happy with it for the most part. I think I need to get over the stigma of just being afraid of actually letting it out and letting people give it a go. But that's what we're gonna do this weekend. I think we're gonna go to this event. It's Saturday morning, I believe, at like 10 or so Eastern. So I'm gonna do that, and then gonna see if I can't get her on the coffee table with the characters. Just do a quick little run through. I might even just do something simple like, here's how you move. Just move around a little bit, and once she gets the hang of that, then here's how you attack, or here's what melee is, and maybe I'll just build on the knowledge of things. And we can't dedicate a whole lot of time to it. I can't necessarily be playing 4-hour games with her because of, well, any reason really. It's just, we don't really have that much time to devote in an evening, especially with her still being in school and all that. So we're gonna see what we can get with this, but I really appreciate you guys stopping by. If you have any comments or questions about what we're doing or what's going on, or myself or gaming or whatever, you know, leave a comment below in the chat, in the description below. I'm going to leave my Twitter handles so you can reach out to me there. We can talk games, we'll talk hockey. I do love me some hockey, so you know, give me a shout and we'll chat. But hope everybody's doing really well. Really appreciate you guys taking the time, and be well all. See you.